Response video to Armando 6040201, whatever. Beverly Hills guy. No, it's Berkeley. But anyway, congratulations on your Democratic machine victory. Substantial victory anyway. I mean, you did lose a couple of key things, but, it's a big win. You have to admit, big win. So, good luck. It's going to be an interesting 4 years. I'll also throw in a crack that the idiot who posted the Stickam conversation, he made some stupid video and he just reiterates the points I've already addressed 3 times to him. It's like there's no fucking point in talking to him. He's an idiot. So really, there's just nowhere to get with this guy. It's just not a great copy of the conversation. You want to keep arguing. It's not your lag, it's his lag, it's Stickam's lag, whoever's. It doesn't matter whose lag it is. The point is, it's not the conversation I had. It's not the conversation other listeners heard. So it's a distortion of the conversation, any way you want to look at it. And I said quite clearly in the beginning of my video, I don't know what the right thing. I'm not passing any judgments on you for posting it. I'm passing a judgment on you for making, for the way you've decided you want to slant this argument. So fuck you. We see the comments on your videos, and you obviously have your own frame of mind and reference points. So anyway, I'll get to the virtual reality thing. I might as well get to your comments later, because Armando makes the same argument. Armando, or whatever. We've got to call you something else, like Joe. Oh, let's first get to my personality. So, because that's what the other guy says. He's like trying to provide me a mirror, a 5 or 6 part mirror or whatever. I don't need a mirror. I know what goes on in Stickam. I'm a participant. I laugh at it myself. It's very funny, I think. Some of it, But the bottom line is I think it works as a room dynamic. You can go to other Stickam rooms, and they get boring as hell. People start playing music because they can't have a conversation, because nobody takes control of the room. So, I mean, if you have 12 assholes, and there's always some idiot who wants to talk about nonsense. So somebody's got to say, fuck you, this isn't the nonsense room, get out. And then there's always some other idiot who thinks they're authorities and talks forever about inane and minutia and bullshit. And so if you want to have a philosophical discussion, guess what? It's going to go absolutely nowhere if somebody doesn't take control of the conversation and say, no, that's meaningless bullshit. We're trying to get to the real thing here, the real deal. So fuck you. Get back in the audience or get the fuck out. But your contribution is not helpful. So anyway, somebody has to take control. And I've even said it in other rooms. Like I said, I'll reiterate it. I've been in other rooms where there's been an argument, and you get into this stupid back and forth with somebody, and the bottom line is one of them has to go, because one of them is being a complete idiot. All right, because the argument can't go anywhere. Their division has just become a mud fight, and as soon as that starts, it's going nowhere. And so it's either going to be me or him. And so, if I have my own room, it's obviously not going to be me. All right, that's the way it's going to work. All right, but when I've been in other rooms, I've made the simple argument. Okay, it's either me or him. Flip a coin, do whatever you have to do, but one of us has to go. But somebody has to make those fucking decisions. So I'll defend my room. I'll defend my style. And if it ultimately doesn't work in the end and people can't stand it or whatever, well then fine, whatever, the end. But I'll concede. Sometimes I go over the top, but so what? That's going to happen. I'm a human being, and I get tired. But, I do have the same conversation a lot of times. You know it. I mean, I've been over some of these points over and over and over, and it just grates on your brain to have to reiterate the same crap over and over and over again. And we got damn videos, and people don't even watch the goddamn thing, and even when they watch the damn videos, they don't even understand what you just fucking said, because they don't listen to the goddamn videos. So whatever. I mean, it is frustrating, and the fact that some of that flies out in Stickam, well, so what? Really? If it's going to bother you, then don't watch. What the fuck can you say? I'm not dragging anybody there. No one's obliged to lock themselves in the room. Then, okay, you made the argument that somehow I'm saying humanity is the problem, and that's not really what I've been saying. What I've been saying is the nature of nature is the problem. The nature of humanity is the problem. The nature of consumption and reproduction, the nature of that DNA objective is the fucking problem. Because there's just there's no way to regulate it, and there's no way even regulated, it's almost impossible in the real world to satisfy the nature of these beasts. I mean, how do you satisfy competition in the real world? You got, to create a perfect competition where nobody gets a broken leg and nobody gets hurt feelings, but there's still a winner and there's still losers and everybody's happy at the end. I mean, usually the only way you can do that is in some special Olympics, everybody gets a lollipop way. But in the real world, it's not going to happen. In the real world, it's all going to turn into lottery kind of bullshit, and there's going to be this very few winners and a lot of broken losers. And that's how the world works. We're by nature exploitive. We're by nature selfish. We're by nature inexhaustible in our need. Need is always regenerated, and the more you get, the more you want. And I mean, it is a real world psychological syndrome. We see it in the real world. We see these silly rich people who have everything and are still fucking miserable. I mean, so come on. So anyway, it's not humanity that's the problem. It's the nature of this biology that's the problem. This consumption, reproduction biology. And then, to your argument that there's some way we're going to make humanity, we're going to suspend all these realities of human nature, selfishness, excessive desire, all that stuff. We're going to create a bunch of little Nicks or Armandos who only need, 3 breaths of air per day, and they know exactly how much soup they're allowed to eat. They only take 1 piece of bread, and they, moderate their consumption. It's not practical. You're not going to build a world with those kind of humans in it. And you're certainly not going to be able to get from this world to that world without coming up with some kind of, something policy. I mean, you think my objection to excessive reproduction is a draconian. How the hell are you going to get this wacky world into that low consumption world? No fucking chance. All right. So doing it doing it in reality, there's just you cannot draw a road getting there. There's no friggin' way you can draw a map to that reality. At least virtual reality, I can draw a map how we get there. Alright, so the big objection with the virtual reality again is this idiotic notion that somehow you can't tell people they can't reproduce. Well, what if you just put the limit on and said you can't reproduce beyond replacement reproduction? So you can replace your own self. If you're a couple, that's 2 kids, but no more. I mean, to say that you can't put any limits on it, it's just like I said, there's no point. If you're going to leave a bunch of loonies outside of virtual reality, if you're going to leave all the mess, all the dissatisfaction, all the deprivation, it's just, there's no point in doing it. It's not, to me, that's not the problem. That's the problem I'm saying virtual reality is for. The fact that it has the extra benefits of being able to do all this other creative things and, being deliriously happy is great. I'm just trying to get rid of the deliriously miserable. The fact that we have the bonus that virtual reality gives you the ability to create delirious happiness is just the bonus. That's just the icing on the cake kind of thing. But the real cake is to get rid of the deprivation in reality. And your argument is that, well, why not do it? And if it'll prove itself, and then you won't have to impose any draconian measures, and it'll be a win-win. Well, in the first place, it ain't going to get built unless it's a mission of society. So it's going to have to replace servicing real needs in the real world. And so the only way you could justify doing that is because in the long run you were going to fix those problems. So there has to be some guaranteed connection between building it and solving problems. Second, you've seen it in people. There's people who would, cut their own penis off to spite their happiness. You know what I mean, or whatever the right way to put it is. I mean, there are fucktards out there who won't do it just because. What do you mean? George Bush touched it? I'm not going to touch it. Or whatever the principle is. So it came out of my mouth. Oh, it's a Gary idea. Fuck that. I ain't going to go near that. There's assholes who wouldn't care whether it was a better place. They won't do it out of spite and principle because they don't like being wrong, or they don't, or violate some kind of rule that they have. So there would be fucktards who would do the pyro thing and say, no, I'm not going in there because, no, not if I have to sign away my right to have 10 more kids, or some other bullshit. So, fuck it. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna, I'm not defending it in any other context than to solve the problem. Okay, I'm not defending it as some kind of, like I said, a toy of the same sick society we already have. It's just going to be a toy for the sick, stupid, consumption, bullshit society we already have. Fuck it. I have no interest in seeing it ever realized. I'd rather the whole fucking human race just blow itself up, okay, than to have some other thing to apportion and manipulate and play games with. Fuck it. But if we're going to solve real problems with it, great. And I just don't see the holocausty nature of requiring people to concede that there's no point in going back. If we finally get some way to manage human consciousness and give it a better virtual world, there'd be really no point in creating the slums out in the real world that still need to be cleaned up. That would just be fucktarded.